What's up, family? It's your asset protector, and today we're talking about something real important: estate planning for blended families. If you're married, have stepkids, or a mixed family tree, what we call a blended family, then you already know if you don't plan ahead, things can get messy for you real fast. And I want to talk to you about how to avoid all that drama. And I'm going to use 6 key estate planning moves for blended families. Number 1, let's dive in. Clearly define who gets what. Clearly define who gets what. Don't leave it up to feelings. Document everything. Don't assume your current spouse will automatically share assets fairly the way you want them. Remember, you're going to be deceased, and it's going to be up to them how they share this information, how they share, and how they give out what you want to give to who. Using a living trust is the way to do that. It offers more control than a natural will, like a last will and a testament that can be contested. So you want to go the way of a trust, a revocable living trust. So after you pass away, then nothing can be changed. It becomes irrevocable. It's revocable while you're living, which means you can change it. You can revoke it. You can revoke certain things and clauses in there when you are alive or when you are capable. But if you become incapacitated or deceased, obviously you can't make those changes. And in that time, it becomes irrevocable, or meaning that you cannot make changes. So make sure that you be specific about what child gets what each child gets, what each stepchild receives or doesn't. Now we're talking about inheritance versus disinheritance. I'll explain. Inherit means that somebody is going to get something good. Disinherit means that they're being left out. That's all that means. Number 2, you're going to choose the right executor or trustee, aka, I like to call it aka handler. Who's handling business? Who's the handler of your estate if you become incapacitated or when you pass away? So your emotions run high when money is involved. So you have a funeral coming up and Uncle Johnny or grandmama or mom or dad has passed away. You already dealing with the emotions from that. You're already grieving. And now you have money involved. Guess what? That's a recipe for disaster. So make sure that you choose someone who's neutral, organized, and trusted, not just family. And let's talk about family for a minute. Family is not necessarily because you have the same bloodline or DNA. Maybe it's your brother, but you're not speaking. Maybe it's 2 sisters, but you had a fallout many years ago and you're not talking to each other. So you want to make sure that family is someone that loves you and respects you, that's organized and trusted, and they're going to carry out things according to your wishes. Make sure that they have the mental capacity to handle this type of business. And so you also want to avoid picking a child from one side of the family, meaning picking a child from your former marriage or your current marriage, or just picking one spouse. You need to have multiple people on this. Because, for example, let's say you pass away, or you and your spouses get in an accident and you pass away, then who's going to be left on the other side to speak? So you want to have somebody from both sides. Because, when you get remarried, sometimes things don't always go the way we would wish them or hope them to go. Or in another case, you could even use a professional fiduciary, somebody that you prefer to do it. It could be an attorney. It could be a banker. It could be a family member, of course. It could be a life insurance agent. It could be anybody you choose, but you want to choose someone that's professional. They know more about it, about how these things operated. They don't have a bias, buy-in, or sellout. And so they're looking at the best interest of the estate and not that, Uncle Johnny is my favorite uncle, so I want to make sure that he gets more than Aunt Susie. So that's not the way it goes. Update all your beneficiaries. You need to do it annually. Your will doesn't control your 401k. It doesn't control your life insurance. It doesn't control your annuities. Those things usually have beneficiaries on their own and usually are not contestable. However, you want to make sure that your beneficiary designations, they match your actual wishes. Removing all ex-spouses and add family members and current spouses where is needed. And as I said before, update every year and after every life event. So every year you need to be going in to do updates. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. But what if you got remarried? Or what if you have a newborn child or get divorced or, divorce is finalized or whatever. And this is for everyone, not just married people. You need to be looking at this every year, looking at your life insurance policies. You need to be looking at your IULs, looking at your annuities. You need to be looking at your 401k. One, to look at how it's performing. Is it performing aggressively enough? Is it earning you, accumulating the cash value that you had hoped for and that you were quoted at the time you purchased it? If not, guess what? There are a plethora of different products and vehicles that you can easily move your money right over into without getting a taxable event. Number 4, use a Q-tip trust. And basically what that is a qualified terminable interest property. I know, it's a tongue tire. It sounds like it's something big, but all it is that it's a way to make sure that you care for your current spouse and protects your children as well. Your spouse gets income for the rest of their life after you pass away, and your kids get the rest of the money that's left over until it's gone. Also, having this trust is going to prevent assets from going to your new spouse or their kids. So here's how that works. Johnny and Susie are married. Johnny and Susie has kids. Johnny dies, or Johnny and Susie gets divorced. Susie remarries, for whatever reason, Susie gets remarried. Johnny and Susie has kids over here. Now, Susie is over with Bob now, and she didn't care for Johnny's kids to start. Well, she cared for those kids, but she want to make sure that her kids are being taken care of as well as these new kids are. Susie passes away. Now Bob is left holding the ticket. So Bob is now the one that's running things. How does Susie protect her children? And if Susie and Bob had new kids, guess what? Guess where the money's going to go to if it's up to Bob? Bob is more concerned about his kids and not Susie and Johnny's kids. So his kids are going to get everything. Susie and Johnny's kids get left out. So this is a way to protect everybody for the rest of their lives, and even the children. And the children will get what's left over. Okay? Hopefully I explained that clear enough for you. If not, then you can reach out to me and I'll be glad to do a breakdown and show you specifically how that works for you. Okay? But I feel like I did a good job. Feel like I over-explained it. Hope I didn't confuse you. Number 5, you want to communicate early and clearly. What am I saying here? Silence, it causes suspicion. My mother used to say this thing, silence is consent. Meaning if someone asks you a question and you don't answer it, oftentimes the answer lies there within. So when you don't talk about these things, and your spouse does not want to talk about these things, whether it's your ex-spouse or your new spouse, that is a cause and concern for suspicion. So have a real conversation with your spouse as well as your adult children. Tell them what is in place for them or not and why you did it that way. You may have a child that you excommunicated from and you want to cut them off. Let them know that that's why you gave the other children or the other child more than you gave them. Or maybe that child is not responsible, even though they're an adult now, but maybe there's someone who's not responsible. And you want to make sure that they're taken care of and things are done in their best interest. And then at that point, the children will become, why did you give more to my sister than me? Of course, they can't ask mom because mom is now deceased. But at the end of the day, it can be written in there in a clause, or either you can tell your children, have these conversations up front, and this is going to alleviate any courtroom battles and arguments and stuff like that. You can even add a no contest clause in there, which basically cuts off drama before drama even starts, meaning that if someone tries to fight your plan, one of your children, then they're going to lose their share. You can write that clause in there. It's legal in most states and shut down most of the challenges before it even come up into place to start with. And it only works, though, when you have a clear, concise plan that's already documented. All right, that's pretty much the video there. But know that estate plan is not just about money. It's about respect, clarity, and keeping your family intact. And making those money moves now before the emotions get high and time gets short. It's too late when the deceased is laying in the funeral home. Get this stuff done now. Have the clarity, have the wherewithal to have the conversations and invoke clarity in your family now while you can. And I know that this might sound like something that you don't want to hear, but it's something that comes up. I'm not here chasing clout or subscribers or likes or people to follow me. That's not where I am. I've changed the game on that. I'm not begging you to follow, like, and share. Follow, like, and share if you want to. And if you don't, fine. Keep right on moving down the road. God put something in my heart, and that is to share this with someone who really needs to hear this. You know, sometimes we know just enough to get ourselves in trouble. We think we know what we're talking about. We Google a few things. But most likely, if you're over 21 years old, you have a job, or maybe you're in college, and you're pretty good at what you do. Well, guess what? I'm good at what I do too. And I'm not just good, but I'm damn good. And I have a team that makes me look like a dummy when it comes to this, to make sure that we're helping you get the best resources for your family, that you're making the best and the wisest, smart money moves. So if this resonated with you and you want to come back and learn more and hear more, then tap in. And I'll be happy to share this. And just in the end, I just want to say in closing, look, working your ass off, but skipping protection of the things that you work your ass off so hard for, that's not a hustle. That's called Baz backwards. Baz backwards. That's what that is. And you can unscramble that yourself. Well, that's pretty much my time. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.